Hey guys, Skyrionn here. This is going to be a bit of a different video where I will just give my take on Fable IV and where I think it will go. Let me just say, there is no confirmation that a Fable IV is being made, and so this is all speculation and my opinion. And you may disagree with me, I'm just an excited fan and these are my thoughts. I'm making this because I've been asked multiple times in comments and in live streams on what my thoughts are, and so here we go. So far, we know that Fable has had some major periods. We've had the Old Kingdom, the Age of Heroes, the Age of Enlightenment, and the Age of Industry. I also asked you guys where you'd like a new Fable to be set, and it's pretty clear that you'd like one set in the Old Kingdom, which I think would be amazing. And so as I know a little bit about the lore of the world, I thought I'd add my small amount of knowledge into what I think would make a great Fable game, and so I came up with 5 possibilities on where I thought would make the most sense for the games to be set. So, the first one being the time of gods and demons. So before the Old Kingdom, there was a time where dragons roamed the skies, where krakens dominated the oceans, and fantastical creatures roamed the lands. The first one that comes to my mind is the Balvorn, the creature of the Balverine. This period has not been documented that well in lore and within the game world. The only being that knows anything about this time is the Snowspire Oracle. I guess it would make some sort of sense for a game to be set here, as there's been no documentation, and if you think of it within the game world, any story that could have happened there would have been lost through time through the destruction of the Old Kingdom. A thought I had about this time is that there were these fantastical creatures and these beasts, but where did they go? When the humans came along, they were attacked by the Balvorn, and that's how the Balverines were created, and there were other beasts as well. So there has to be a story there where these creatures were annihilated by something or they went into hiding. A dominant life form that came across them that wiped them out. I also thought that this would be a great time to kind of explore the void, and the court. Were they here at this time? Where did they come from? Surely they would have had some sort of claim on the land as well. It's interesting. This is my least likely opinion, but still, it'd be cool to be in a Fable world where there'd be constant danger. I guess the closest thing I can consider this one to is Greedfall, where there are giant beasts around that you have to fight. Moving forward a fair few years, the next period I would suggest is the Old Kingdom. Now this is the most requested area I think that people would like the game to be set. Just a bit of a rundown of this area, this is the time where William Black became the first hero and defeated the court, where he removed their control of the population of Albion. His story is pretty well known, and so I believe that playing as William wouldn't be a possibility. But as the Old Kingdom was destroyed and with it a lot of information, there could be a lot more to his story that was lost through the ages. In my opinion, I believe that the Old Kingdom would be a great place to create a sort of trilogy. Hear me out. The first game focusing around the time that the court is defeated. Imagine playing in a time where the whole world is dominated by a giant force, and suddenly, this force is defeated by this hero. How would the world move on from that? And then slightly after that, the will energy of William and his children would be at its strongest, as the heroes that we see have diluted will energy. At this point, will energy is at its strongest. By the time that we see heroes, that bloodline has been diluted completely. As it was written about the Old Kingdom, there were machines that worked on will alone. This kingdom was huge. The only thing that we saw about the kingdom was in the clip of the Spire, where it destroyed the kingdom. So it'd be interesting to see maybe the destruction of the court and the rise of the Old Kingdom. Another game could circle around the events of Scythe's children. As we know, these children began to behave badly with their will energy, and it would be interesting to see the epic fights that these heroes could have, for good and for bad. There could be some villains there. The events of this could lead up to the destruction of the Old Kingdom, with the use of the Spire. The third game may be a few years later, after the destruction of the Old Kingdom, and there are some heroes that obviously escaped this explosion. Here we could see the creation of the Heroes Guild, we could see the creation of the Witchwood Arena. We could see how Scythe guided Nostro to create this Heroes Guild that united Albion. A positive of this time period, in my opinion, would be that it would be limited to bows, swords and magic. The classic Fable style that I fell in love with. This could fit pretty well into the lore as well, as this period isn't documented that well. The records of the heroes and the villains could have been destroyed in the Old Kingdom. Moving forward, onto the next possibility that I think could be likely. Between the events of Fable 1 and Fable 2 there are 500 years, and so many events happen within this time. Albion is dramatically different between these two games. The guild has fallen, guns have been introduced, the Fairfax family are in power. What was Scythe doing during the time that all of his descendants were being slaughtered by the Anti-Hero League? There are so many stories that could be made out of these, my favourite being possibly a hero during the attack on the guild and going into hiding, possibly meeting up with other heroes, waiting to strike back. Maybe they could have gone to the Northern Wastes. We didn't hear anything about the Northern Wastes after Fable 1. No one knew if it united with the rest of Albion when Bowerstone was the capital city. Is Scythe still up there? And bear in mind, there are only 50 years between Fable 2 and Fable 3. There could have been heroes in hiding waiting for a time to rebuild the Order, we don't know. Another time is during the aftermath of the Spire. So after Fable the Journey, I know some people hated it, a wish was made to remove the corruption from the world. With this, Theresa seems to have died. Throughout the events of the Fable games, Theresa has been a manipulative factor, moving pieces around her to meet her goals. She manipulated Lucian into building the Spire. She told Logan about the darkness. She fought against the darkness and gave Gabriel the mantle of seer. Could we see more Gabriel? And if time were to go forward, where would we go? Steampunk, the modern age. Again, this is one of my least favourite theories. I prefer to go back in time to the Old Kingdom. The final theory is relating to the leak. Although I believe 99% it was fake with the story that came out, it would still make an interesting story. A mad king using the Spire to destroy Albion. A whole kingdom destroyed and starting fresh. A new story, a new setting. Albionite artifacts scattered throughout the lands to be explored. Maybe you discovered the ruined city of Bowerstone. It sounds morbid, but it's intriguing. And it got me thinking, would Scythe, Rose, Reva survive this? In my personal opinion, I would love a game set in the Old Kingdom. A reboot does sound interesting in a new land, but just the way that the Old Kingdom has been described is Fable-esque, it's Fable. Seeing the Northern Wastes and Hut Coast before the damage of the Spire would be brilliant. As in Fable, we see the region as a shell of what it once was. It was originally many cities with a grand library. Other places they could explore are Samarkand. That could be an interesting one. What about a game set in a demon door? There are so many possibilities, but the ones I've stated are the ones I believe could be more probable. With that Twitter handle popping up, and Microsoft renewing their IP. These signs do indicate something, or maybe I'm just being too hopeful. We do have an Xbox briefing coming up later this month. Again, these are just my thoughts and predictions on a game that might not even exist. I'm extremely hopeful and I believe that maybe we will get a Fable 4. I'm excited. What do you think? What would you like to see? Do you agree with any of my theories? I could describe these a bit more, but I feel like I went on a tangent a few times within this video. Throw your theories down below. Join the Discord. Let's talk about this. What would you like to see? Thanks for watching, share, like and subscribe. Check out the lore series I got on Fable. I've also got one on Half-Life. I also do timeline videos. Check out everything. Anyway, enjoy your day. Bye.